welcome back. This is Jeff from Jeff Random Hobbies. So we have another update here on the Luminous 135 Waterbox Aquarium. Right now we have some big updates, and I'm going to go over a lot of the new corals and growth that I've seen on the tank. We're running, I think, day 100, 103 to be exact. Last video was February 22nd, so a little over a month and a half overdue video. Just been really busy, and there isn't really many updates to do on this tank just because it's so slow growing with my lighting schedule and just getting everything together. Now, if you've been following the series, you already noticed that we have a new rockwork. Now, I got some new fish, and I had some issue with itch, so I had to remove them, put them, throw them back in my quarantine tank. They're going to be there probably for the next 2 months and a half, just because I read online it takes about 72 days for all the itch to die in the tank, and so all I have is my invertebrates and my corals in here. Probably noticed that the rockwork has changed also, because it was pretty much next to impossible to get all those fish out without turning off the system, removing all the rocks, catching all the fish, and throwing it in there. Especially I think the damsel was the hardest, just because he hid in the rockwork. The flasher wrasse was pretty easy because I have a medic capture box, and so was the flametail blenny. They fell for the food trap, so they went in. The clowns are very sociable, so they came up to the front. I could scoop them up really easy. But that's pretty much it. Let's jump into see the new corals and see what's going on in this tank. So the newest addition here is this centerpiece. I bought this Dark Soul torch 3-head from my LFS, and now it's just amazing. The colors are so bright. It just has been no issue since the get-go. It's working perfectly fine, just right in the center of the whole tank. So we'll go over with pretty much the Euphelias first. So I have the torch here. It split. I think it completed its split. We'll just look. I don't know if we'll be able to see it with the flow I have going on here, but that one split. And then we have this regular frog spawn here. Let's see if my friend. There we go. Not much growth on that little guy. And then this frog spawn here has been splitting also right through the middle. You can see there. And then I have the orange Yazania frog spawn. It's doing okay. I mean, the colors fluctuate like crazy. So you can see right now the bottom half is a lot more brown than the top half. And I have increased the light intensity on my tank. So maybe that's why it's kind of going into this fluctuation period where it's going to be changing its color just a little bit. I increased the intensity by 5% per level. So we have this Acropora. I don't know the name, but this thing has been in the tank since day, I don't know, like 30 after the cycle. So it's doing fairly well. Not much growth on it that I can tell, because this isn't one of the corals I actually pay attention to daily. But I did notice that the green kind of center and the purple to green tips are starting to show on the ends, which is pretty cool. So we'll go up here. I do apologize, I don't know a lot of these coral names, but we'll just try to go with what I think I know what they are. I think this is the green one. This green guy right here is a fuzzy monster or a fuzzy moss, something like that. Got him about a week ago. The polyps are looking okay. I mean, they're acclimating, but at the store they're really open, so we'll see what happens. This is the tricolor acro. Now it looks pretty bleach, but I think it's just the way it grows, because when the lights are off you can see it's purple. I have to use my flash camera, so it's pretty interesting. At first I thought it was dead, but there's a lot of growth going on this guy, and I'm excited to see where that goes, because it's going to be the top piece right there. Now I have this frost fire, or ice fire, ice and fire, fire and ice. I think it's called Fire and Ice. Zoa right here. It's doing pretty good. I mean, it has 4 polyps, 5.5, and that one's looking pretty good. So go move on. Here we have the Mind Trick. I don't know if it's growing or if it's looking bad. I just kind of threw it in there just because it was pretty decent sale. Really haven't seen it recede, and I haven't really seen it grow. It's a little bit dirty because I did clean the tank, but that's nothing to worry about. Now I have my Duncan down here. I moved him to the front just because in the back you can't really see him. But if you look closely, we have a few heads growing on the side. So we have 3 total heads now, 2 on the side, 1 in the main area. Then we'll go back up to this top part. If you're a fan of, what are these called? Blastos. I have a black cherry, I think, Blasto right here. The tips are crazy and the mouth is teal whenever the light is off. I think that's one of my favorite Blastos, but I also saw another variant of black cherries where it had a black ring in the middle or around the edge. And that one was pretty cool. We'll go back up to the top. So we have this acro right here. I guess my light's not gonna work, or my camera's not gonna work with this, but this thing is growing like crazy. And I really like that. I mean, this is gonna be the 2 pivotal peaks of the 2 left side, and this one's kind of in the center, which it's just how the rock work happened. And then we have this green. Don't know what this one is called, but I think it's some type of, I'm not sure, either acro or stylophora. And the polyps are always extended during feeding time. The only thing I question is the bottom half, like the below the light. You can't ever see the polyps. Like, they're not fully extended like the rest, but I assume that would be because it's not getting the lighting. And then we have a Faviat I got from, or Faviat, I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but I got it from Tidal Gardens, and he's just kind of sitting in the middle. He's purple. There wasn't any name with it. If there was, it probably was in my previous video when I got it. We'll go with this Zoa here, one of my favorites, the Lunar Eclipses. So when I first got it, I was really worried because the speckles didn't really show up. And I'm not sure if my camera will get it, but the speckles have started to come in. And that's why I got them, because they had that orange ring, black center, and the speckles really made it shine. The Hypnophora is looking terrible. I think I'm going to get rid of it. It's just too high demanding, and it just didn't fare well in the tank. And that's probably my own fault. And here's another Acropora that's been in the tank for a long time. Big piece that I got. Hasn't receded, so I'm going to assume it's growing. The colors are only on one side because when I bought it, it was laying down. So it was growing kind of on the side we're looking at. And then we have this, I think it was called LAP, some kind of SPS coral that I got for free with my Tidal Gardens order. And it's okay. I mean, I don't really like the color. It kind of has a green tint to it, but it's mostly brown. And I just kind of put it in there for a placeholder. Then we have the regular green Blasto. This one has a few heads growing on the side. If you can see it. Let's see if my camera works. There's one on this side. There's a couple on the bottom. But we're not going to get a good picture of it, really. So that one's growing pretty crazy also. And then we'll go over here to my candy cane. Now, when I bought this, I was told it's a fast grower and it's pretty hardy. Now, I can't agree it's hardy, but I haven't gotten any additional heads, and I've had it for almost 2 months. So I'm curious of either have it in a bad spot for lighting. I mean, it's kind of in the mid-level of my rocks. But we'll see where that goes. And then I think these are called Electric Eye or something like that, Zoas. got those because they kind of match the purple teal like these guys, but it's the opposite, where the purple's on the outside and teal's on the inside. Then we have another Blastomusa, has 2 heads. It's fair and well. I haven't seen too much growth on this one. It came with 2 heads, but it looks, I mean, it's doing pretty good. We'll move on to the Yuma. This is the Yuma I got on discount, and this guy is just hanging in there. This guy is just hanging in there. And I mean, I don't know. Read online that it's going to take a long time for his coloration to come back. So I mean, he's stuck on the rock. He hasn't really moved. The colors are still there, so he hasn't bleached and he hasn't let go of the rock. So I kind of assume he's still alive, which is a good sign. But it's going to be a long time before that guy colors up. We'll move up to this, the Eagle Eye Zoanthids. Now these guys are doing pretty good. You can see how big the polyps are. I have another piece of them. This one broke off, and they're kind of just floating around. So we'll take a look at those maybe. Next to that is the mushroom I have. So this mushroom's doing pretty good. It would be a little bit bigger if it was flat on the peg, but it's kind of just curled itself up on that peg, and I guess that's a good sign that it's still alive. It's really bright yellow, and there hasn't been too much growth on this guy. I think he might be at max size. So here is a zoanthid that's pretty much, I got on a whim. It was like $5, and it just had 2 polyps, if I recall correctly, and now it has 4. So you see there's 2 little ones to the left, and it grew under this rock. So there's 2, oh no, it's got 5. So it's got 2 there, and then it's got a big one right above it, and then 2 on the left, which is cool. We'll keep moving along. Actually, let's go to the top and just take a quick look. So we have another Acropora. Don't know the name of that one, but we have my favorite, the red planet, or a red planet. It's looking all right. I think I'm gonna move them to the right side to get him directly under the AP 700 par. He's on the right side, so I don't know if he's getting the accurate par that he needs. If there's any receding, I'll definitely move it. I haven't really seen any other than the piece that I broke off when I was trying to put the plug in. And it's just slowly growing. It was a little bit shorter than that when I first got it, so it's growing upwards. Then we have this teal Acropora, which was called, I think, Blue Goo or something like that. And I mean, you can't really see the color in here since I'm running white lights. Pretty high on the blue spectrum. So it's a teal piece. Got it recently, so it's not gonna look that great, but I mean, it looks pretty good to me. So we go to the right, and we have here the Cherry Zoa. This one actually is pretty good. This one's been mounted on this rock for a while, and the polyps are really extended. And I like this area on the side because all the water gets pushed by the MP40, gets kind of pushed by the first overflow down this way, causes a water flow to go down this side, and then any water that comes down here kind of slingshots back to the back side. And these guys kind of just get that overflow. The Rastas, these guys are expensive, but they aren't growing very good. There's 4 polyps. Oh, it looks like there's 5 now. There's a little itty bitty guy right under the main big piece there. It's a little guy, so I guess it's growing. There's a 5th one, and right here you can see there's a ultra rock enemy flower right there. You just gotta pick this spot there. Probably won't ever see him again. And then we have the sun coral. It's doing a lot better than it was before, and right now it's kind of buried because I did some sand cleaning. But the corals, I wish it came out during the day. That's part of the problem. It only comes out kind of like night, shadowy time during feeding, but I wish it was more exposed. We'll go over the two Micromusa lords I have. So I have the oddball and the pinwheel. I forgot which one is which. But the orange one is looking crazy good. It's always got extended mouth polyps. It's wanting to feed like crazy. This guy kind of got a little bit bleached because I had him, well, not really bleached, more like he's been pestered by the water. He was up here where the water column kind of just pushes by really hard, rough. So I moved him back here. We have the pink Ghanies. Just moved them and they are recovering from their spot. We'll see what happens to these guys. Then we have the PE Zoas here, PE red Zoas. They're not open for some reason. Maybe, I don't know what's going on with these guys. It's rough to say. I might dip them again because only a couple of the polyps are ever open. We got the big old blue hermit crab there, right on the right side. We'll go back and take a look. I have a couple of zoanthids in this cup because I didn't know where I was gonna mount them or how good they were gonna look. But we have the dragon eye, a random one, and a pink one in there. They didn't really have names at the store. We'll go on this side. There's a reef rack here. Or not a reef rack, but a coral rack. I have the magnetic ties. So we have a rock that I glued a bunch of the floating zoas, and there's a piece of the eagle eye right there. There's a pink and white one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The Galixias are looking terrible because I just blasted them with water to clean off some of the cyanobacteria. And then we have this piece, I think it was called a shortcake, and it's pretty much dead, but I just kept it in here. I don't know what happened. Either I acclimated it too quick and it just died off so quick. But I'm okay with that. You're going to take some casualties here and there. Here's the 3 new Acroporas back here. I know one's called a highlighter, the middle one. This closest one to us is a blue and green, and then I'm not sure what that far one guy is, but we'll see how he grows out. And then I have another eagle eye kind of frag plug there. When I first was buying them, I wasn't sure what kind of zoanthids I wanted. I wanted some color, so I bought a bunch of them together. So there's the tank, and this guy right here, he just gets the craziest amount of flow, and he's loving it, man. Let's take a look under the hood. I know everybody's happy to see what's down here. Turn this back on. Looks like my skimmer is a little bit dirty. So if you've seen my previous video, we built kind of a sump refugium area. It's kind of, I don't know if I'm going to use it, honestly. It didn't cost me any money, really. $10, maybe $15, because I had to buy the weird pieces. But so the glass here is glued. It's a sectional for the skimmer, and then I have a section for the marine pier block. I wish the wall on the marine pier block was a little bit higher so that I could put a mesh on top of it to catch any debris before it gets on the marine pier block. And then pretty much I got this greenhouse lining that I cut up to build this weir, and I think I need to cut little slits back there because the water only comes this way and flows that way and down, so there's kind of a dead spot back there. Plus it's kind of pushing this back. And originally I wanted to refugium and put Chaeto in here, but I just feel like it might be a little bit too much work, and I'm going to go the route with the Chaeto reactor. We'll see how that works out. But that's pretty much the tank right now. We haven't had much issues. I am dosing no box here. Sorry, the box. This area is really dirty. Dosing Nopox because we have the cyanobacteria. I'm hoping to get rid of a lot of the issues that was noted in the last video, but I've been fighting this stuff for a little bit. But I'm ultimately not going to ever get rid of it unless I get some way to handle the phosphates and nitrates in the tank. Until the next video, I hope everybody's saltwater reef is going fairly well. Mine's been doing pretty good. Hopefully we'll get more updates as things start to grow out, look better, and get my fish back in here. I want to get more wrasses. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know if it's going to be compatible. Right now I have 2 blue sapphire damsels, spriggers, 2 premium snowflake clowns, and a single McCorsky flasher wrasse. Hoping to get more wrasses in here. And I originally had a diamond spotted orange goby, but he freaking jumped out. And now I'm gonna have to build a lid because most of these guys I'm gonna be getting in the future are jumpers. And as much as I want to spend $30 to $50 on fish that just happen to jump out, not gonna be a fun experience. So until next time, I hope everyone's doing well.